Hey everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you're watching this from. And this is going to be a small talk on hope. So the reason why I wanted to make this talk was because I felt like with a lot of things that's going around the world right now, not just in our hometowns, but all over the globe, I feel like there's a sense of hope being devoid in the world. Of course, a lot of violence, a lot of destruction is happening out there, and it's really tough to see, of course, especially knowing that you can't do much to help in regards to that. But I wanted to touch on hope because normally that's what we all long for, right? I mean, of course, there's other things such as happiness, fulfillment, joy, finding your purpose in life, and pursuing God's calling if you believe in that as well. But uh, the one thing that I think gets us through the most toughest of times, or the most heartbreaking moments of our lives, even in times of sickness physically, when our bodies just can't take it anymore and are failing, are, falling flat. I feel like the thing that keeps us going is that our mind's thought, our mind's perception and vision of hope. Because at the end of the day, when you lose it all, when you lose everything, be it financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. When you're at that breaking point, when you're on that edge, or when you're on that brink of giving up, the only thing that keeps you going, or the only thing that motivates you, or like pushes you to get up and try one more time is hope. Because at the end of the day, if there's no hope in anything, then why are we even trying? Why are we even living in the first place? Right? Why are we even existing in the first place? It's not to cause destruction, it's not to cause violence, it's not to lash out, it's not to use every single thing as our punching bag or as our way of ranting out our frustrations and anger and regrets. It's not any of that. Never was. You know, I'd like to correlate this with God in a bit because I've mentioned it before in my other talks about being somebody's answered prayer, and it's not necessarily to be a miracle. I mean, sometimes or most of the times, I mean, you know, it's you could be a miracle. I mean, like just your existence or just you being birthed into this world is a miracle in and of itself because yes, there are 7 billion plus people in the world, but there's also less chances of you being born at the same time. So yeah, that's one thing to let you know that you are a miracle in terms of that. But being someone's answered prayer is not something that needs to be that extravagant. Sometimes the way you inspire hope is not to completely get somebody out of that situation that they're in, or relieve someone completely of their pain, or speed up the healing process of a certain phase that someone is going through, so that they can be who they were again before all of that happened. It's uh, it's it's not like giving them a solution, uh, or trying to fix them right away, but giving them that thought, that vision of a possibility of, even if there's like a slim chance, even if it's not 100% guaranteed, even if it's not a surefire plan that could actually work. Just giving them a little bit of hope, a little bit of genuine hope, because I feel like in this world that's so devoid of hope, we also fill our own lives with false hopes. And that's even more heartbreaking because, it's like you give somebody or you give yourself like uh, the sense of possibility of it coming true, the sense of possibility of it, you know, happening. And at the end of the day, like, you know, that sense of logic at the back of your head kicks in, and it's like, you know, that all of that hope is just taken away, you know. So I'd like to avoid that, especially, giving people false senses of hope, giving myself false senses of hope, because I know I've done that many times and it didn't lead to anything good. But at times, what I wanted to touch on in regards to spreading hope, or, you know, giving a tiny, even the slightest bit, even if it's like a minuscule amount of hope in this world that's filled with so many things going on that are not so positive, so many things that are going on that are not so good. Uh, let's take it down a notch, even not even in a grander scale about the world, but in your own life, your own daily life, at work, on the way to wherever you're going, on the commute, at home, your relationships with your family and your friends. Let's take it to that level, and you know, you don't really need to be that really big miracle in and of itself. You most of the time, inspiring hope in someone they're they're being being in a state of depression, when they're being in a state of hopelessness, when they're being in a state of utter dread, facing their literal demise right before their very eyes. It's not to give them like this really. It's not trying to give them this really awe-inspiring and grandiose solution to their problem. It's making them or giving them a reason to genuinely smile, per se, giving them a reason to genuinely laugh, giving them a reason to genuinely feel heard, to giving them a shoulder to cry on when they feel like they want to just break down, or just giving them that sense of belonging in a place, or making them feel like they're not alone. There's so many simple things and so many little things that could inspire hope in somebody who's lost it a long time ago, you know, in humanity and their own lives, in their career, and their passions, in who they are, and their kind heart, in their existence as well, and their reasons for living. You know, just 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 small gestures of kindness, just small gestures of you know understanding and compassion can really go a long way for someone. In the words of the late great Robin Williams in one of his movies, which was, I believe it was Good Will Hunting. If you guys haven't seen it, I'd recommend you guys see it. It's a really touching movie. It makes you think a lot. It made me think a lot, like for an entire day. I'm still thinking about it now, which is why I'm going to be saying one of the quotes. But Robin Williams was talking to the character or the protagonist of the movie, and he said along the lines of, what can truly change the world? It's not, it's not extravagant solutions, it's not godly miracles. Amidst us human beings and us imperfect people, the the thing that can truly change the world is one random act of kindness at a time. Because that's all there is. I mean, it's like what I said just a few seconds ago. Making someone smile unintentionally or intentionally, making someone laugh, making them feel like they are heard, in a place where they feel like nobody's listening, in a place, making them feel like they are seen for who they are, for who they truly are in a world that's so focused or fixated on their mask and so in love and enamored with the mask that they put on every day, or making them feel like it's okay to feel things, it's okay to be hurt, it's okay to 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 suffer what you're or to be sad for because of what you're going through, instead of this world that keeps telling them, you have to be strong, you have to be firm, you have to not break down, you gotta be like a brick wall. And most of all, it's like it's okay to be human. you know I can imagine the amount of times in jobs in and of itself, let alone the work that you do at your job, it it demands you become a machine. So I feel like it's really important to reach out to people, to make sure that they're doing okay, to give them that sense of hope, not forcefully giving it out, but just giving them a sign that giving them a sign to not give up, giving them a sign to keep going, giving them a sign uh, to look on the brighter side, to look on the blessings instead of the curses that have come to their lives. And doing that in your genuine, authentic way. Like if you have a friend who's going through a tough time, be there for them. If you have a family member who's going through a tough time, be there for them. Sure, they may not, sure, you may think of it as just some little gesture, or maybe you may think of it as something that's just gonna be a waste of their time, but in a broader perspective, it could really mean a lot to them. I mean, like they say, it's the little things that pack the most powerful punch, or it's the little things that truly matter. And I do believe that because I can't count the amount of times I've been through tough times and just seeing not even my close friends or family, just seeing a random stranger in the metro genuinely smile at possibly a book he's reading, or talking to someone, or having conversations with their loved ones or their friends, and they're so genuinely into it, genuinely enthusiastic, brightens my day. It doesn't need to be some extravagant thing like achieving my dream. Doesn't need to be anything extravagant like world peace or whatever. It can be something like that. And I feel like the more we do that, the less likely we are to give in to those destructive urges, to give in to those destructive thoughts, and all in all, it will uh, inspire a sense of faith in us, in ourselves, that we can be better, that we can be good, we can choose to be good, and it can inspire us to be to have hope in faith, to have hope in God, to have hope in this creation, to have hope in each other. And at the end of the day, I mean, I'll leave it with this, or I'll conclude the talk with this line. I think I've heard it in church or somewhere in a random video, but it was along the lines of, if you are struggling to see hope around you, or if everything that's around you is filled with darkness, perhaps the reason that is because you are the light that needs to shine a bit of, you know, hope amidst the darkness. You know. So just take that into account, and I hope you guys took something away from this. I know it's not as 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 planned out or really jumbled up as usual, but hope you guys took something away from it. Hope you guys, keeping the hope that you want to see in the world and the hope that you want to see in your families and friends, relationships. Yeah, just keep in mind one random act of kindness can truly change, cannot change the world in the broader spec, but can truly change one person's world. And I think that's more than enough. Anyways, yeah. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.